Yellow. Oh, it seems we have a small problem. There seems to be a small issue with the camera. Okay. This shouldn't be like this. Give me a second. It's interesting. It worked perfectly fine yesterday. Yeah, you can see that here. It's alright. But OBS is really trolling me. There it is. Okay, perfect. So it seems like I am on a roll. It's like third day of streaming in a row. So let's start with the fun part. To be honest, I should not be doing it. But this is a Linux stream. ArchLinux stream even. So what do we have today? FreeRDP, some plugins, GStreamer, lame. Oh, Mesa, OpenCV. Okay, so nothing, I would say, too upsetting for the Linux stomach. Okay. And what do we have to update in Flatpak? Oh, there seems to be some. So let's get them done and upgraded. I should probably get a cup or something because I am drinking like an animal. Okay, let me fix one more thing. Just so I can see all of your chats clearly. Okay. And today we'll also go with World of Warcraft. Yep, as yesterday we can see some sort of error or more like warning messages, but that's not really important. Everything's updated, yep. So let's go. To be honest, technically today we are playing on a different GPU driver than yesterday. Because I think yesterday I upgraded everything, the kernel got upgraded, but I haven't rebooted, which means it was not loaded. And we are exactly in the same place we were yesterday. Things are starting to feel familiar. I think I know the way back to my village. I should tell you, I am not just looking for my sister. Our mother died when I was studying in the cities. Shahata buried her under her favorite tree, but I wasn't there. I swore I would come home to conduct the funeral rites, but I didn't make it in time. I have left my oath unfulfilled for far too long. I owe it to the mother. I owe it to mother to at least try now. Come, let's search the village. Oh my, it feels so nice to play WoW after a long day of troubleshooting server issues and Linux issues. Like, it might seem weird, but there are still some Python 2 apps that are in production that need to be migrated and or need some love. Like, even if you give somebody years of prep time, not everything will be migrated or upgraded. There also seems to be new Proxmox release with the new Debian, the Proxmox 9, and surprisingly, as long as I have lived with Debian, and I am currently working with a lot of Debian still, I am discovering new and new problems. Like, some issues are mind-boggling to me, to be honest. But yeah, it turns out even a seemingly well-reputed stable distro like Debian can have some weird and dazzling mistakes and errors. Like, for example, I think the one thing that Debian does the most weirdly is the network configuration. Like, we still have in Debian the etc network interfaces, right? The problem is that a lot of things now fully depend on systemd mechanics, and network interfaces isn't, let's say, systemd compliant fully. And that leads to many problems. Like, for example, if you have in systemd, if you are using like systemd units or you are configuring your own, and you are using, for example, network targets, those do not necessarily work very well if you are only using the basic Debian network mechanics. Muse takes a closer look at the ore. Ah, okay, that's just the mining quest. That's just the mining quest. So yeah, so that network thing is one of the things in Debian I have noticed. Other things are, for example, some weird package bugs, which are seemingly bizarre that they even made it in there. For example, it turned out that etc keeper, which is a very handy software that basically transforms your /etc into a Git repository and then basically always, like, it takes care to always commit and track changes that happen in your etc, has its periodic jobs configured double. So by that I mean it has its periodic jobs configured in cron, but also it has a systemd timer, and both of those things are configured simultaneously, and that leads to problems. And I have already encountered some problems with that. I'm a botanist, not a technician. Well, I am. Oh geez, they've completely changed the bindings. I wanted to say I am an engineer and then show my engineering profession, but well. I'm hearing this sound effect that tells me that there is this dragon token or whatever. Oh, here it is. Nice.
Your help, Locust Walker. Instead, you've brought the Harbinger to my dome. Put your hopes in the trust.
Oh my, Venari. Didn't we meet her in Shadowlands. Room, I always catch you in the streams. Hi, animations, you always do. You are my #1 loyal viewer. The Shadow Guard attacked the Ecodome. They must covet the vast stores of energy needed to shield the delicate biomes from Void of Karesh.
Survival is our utmost priority.
My Reshi ribbon is all that is keeping this dome and its systems from collapsing. This Ecodome took too much of my fortune to build just for some Shadow Guard to destroy it. They have sabotaged many of our control consoles, risking a complete ecological collapse. Find engineer Omluf and help him restart our environmental support system while I'll monitor the rest of the facility.
And the only thing holding everything together is my Rishi ribbon. I spent my fortune to acquire these ecodomes. I won't let them collapse.
Is that WinStation ETH your Linux host name?
Secure this area. The Shadow Guard are everywhere.
That's a good question. Yes. WinStation ETH. Now that you've said it, I have completely no idea where that ETH is from. It should be WinStation Arch. Interesting. Oh, okay, and I get it. The host name is WinStation Arch, but on my DHCP server, as my DHCP lease, or my DHCP name, I have it named WinStation Ethernet, because I have both Wi-Fi and Ethernet to basically know which link is which. And since that information gets presented to the system with DHCP offer, because it's basically saved reservation, it seems that the network manager is preferring it to the etc host name. Interesting. So it basically means that my IP address and my main DHCP lease was acquired from the Ethernet connection of my PC.
Hello, my champion.
I thought you were just going to consult the Harbinger, not bring her along.
I insisted. Last time, the Ravel was unable to complete the straightforward task it was given. I need to look after my interests. I need to know that we will bring an end to Dimensius.
Is that so? Then if you insist on being part of this venture, I'm going to put you to work. Don't just float around making sassy remarks. Make yourself useful and kill some Shadow Guards.
Damn, Venari is
Trust her?
always not afraid of anything.
Trust her to do whatever she needs to survive. We share a purpose: to kill the all-devouring. That may change once Dimensius is dead. Don't just stand there scowling at each other. Get to work. My dome is in crisis.
I hope not. I hope Zalatath is a mainstay character. I managed to get ALSA Advanced Linux Sound Architecture working in Gentoo a couple days ago. To have to build and recompile it into a kernel. What exactly do you need to compile into a kernel with ALSA? Because in kernel you typically have, well, drivers just to be able to see on your sound card, and everything else is just, an extra program. Am I right? Like, sound system in Linux is something that I am completely, I don't want to say disinterested, but it's something that should be decided on and fixed at least a decade, if not two ago, and it's still a problem.
Look quickly, mortal, before
I don't even have any idea what I am currently running when it comes to audio. But like whatsoever default in KDE is what I'm having. Rod of parameters used.
Good. Now get the next rod. Ah, the rod cracked. Get me a new one. Go!
It's like a Chernobyl. Like as far as I understand it, if you can see the device in LSPCI, for example, then the kernel's job is done. You might have some extra problems. Like most often with Wi-Fi, it's like this, that even if you see the device and it's not necessarily working, that might be driver issue, basically not supporting all of the features, but still. There's this kernel option in your kernel allowing you to enable it. For some reason also it will only accept it as built-in. So yeah, I just built it into a kernel to do a quick make. Yeah, JN. How long did the kernel took to build?
Structural integrity acceptable. We might survive this. Next rod. Did it work? Yes. System stable. Tell Venari we won't explode.
Yeah, we won't explode. Kernel recompiled.
Energy control systems may be stabilized, but the biomes will still crash without my ribbon. With funding comes salvation.
This ecodome will fail if the environmental support system stops. We must stabilize it. We will.
Just begun.
Environmental support may be back up and running, but don't get complacent. This was merely the first of the many problems plaguing this ecodome.
What is more valuable than home?
Okay. Damage Report 101. Just like Engineer Omluf, I have hired more well-regarded, highly trained, expensive management consultants from Cartel Om. 2 of them have not reported in. Are they dead or just distracted again? Find Botanist Omnitar and Shield Technician Omdor. Get their damage reports. I need to know if the attack caused any lasting damage to my dome.
I must protect my investment.
The Shadow Guard attack caused chaos and disarray in this dome. Several control consoles have powered down, and my consultants are stretched thin, reviving their assigned biomes and systems. This is where you come in, Archeron. It's an easy but critical job. Find the disabled consoles and make sure they restart. So basically go to the terminals and reboot them.
Do your dirty work. You haven't changed, Venari.
I give the traveler the ribbon when it's not the only thing keeping the biomes in this dome alive.
On my PC, if the kernel is brand new, it's 15 minutes. The command make actually knows your .config and will get the make diff your old config and will apply accordingly. Yeah, like if you are not running make clean, then you have like, I want to say, optimized version of everything. Like it doesn't compile something if it doesn't have to, if it still has that in the temporary or cache. Stranger, what MS? The ecodome containment system went down for a brief moment and several void creepers took advantage of it. Will you help me get rid of them? So where are... oh, those... lol. Spin kick? Suzaku spin kick? It's an older meme. It's a very old reference at this point. 2 more. Okay.
Do you wish to trade?
Yes, yes, of course. We have lost a small number of plants, but luckily they were not rare and will replenish in time. I wish to see Courage bloom or at least have the ecodomes reminding us of a time long ago where everything was better. A time before the Void Lord, before the Harbinger, before our world shattered and lives collapsed. Alas, I shouldn't bother you with such things. Tell Venari that I have it all under control. I will. There's still this other guy we have to talk to. This control console was tampered with. It looks like all activation rods are in place, but something is bugging the system. There is a small shadow guard device attached to its side. So we pretty much debugged it and fixed it. Oh, and the kernel I boot from a CFI boot x64 EFI. It's not a unified kernel image. You can boot a kernel with no. And my ESPMNT point is /boot. Nice. I mean, boot x64 is basically something that you can call an EFI stub, right? Still, I am a kind of a big advocate for unified kernel images. It's not like it's, I don't know, 2004, where having /boot be a gigabyte or 2 gigs in size is something that you need to cry about. So you can easily have very big kernels. Like many versions right next to each other. This control console shows high pressure build-up. You can hear the rattle coming from the panels. Sometimes applying force is the best solution. Using force. Exactly, my favorite tech solution. Reboots will continue until morale improves. Thank you for coming. There are many dangers we face when attempting to terraform Koresh, not the least of which is attracting creatures that see the domes as convenient energy sources. Ecodome Spring Coast is plagued with them. I have a plan to remedy this, but I could use your help preparing. The reason why your Arch kernel can boot directly with firmware and it's a UKI because the Linux package has some default configs. I mean, it can boot directly from the UEFI because that's how it works. You know, it's basically linked within the binary, but it still needs to have the beginning of the file, I want to say. And not necessarily the Linux package, the mkinit cpio and, you know, Dracket or whatever takes care of that linking. Like, the Linux package within of itself does nothing. Like, Linux package in it of itself is basically /usr lib linux whatever, right? MK in CPIO just generates an init RAMFS by itself. It needs this. I mean, yes, that's what Linux package is. But it can also generate unified kernel image. It can generate pretty much anything. Like, to be honest, I kinda, after trying it out, find it better than Drakat. I'm lifeless. Yes, I have been trying to collect these void spores ever since the attack. I am tired. Maybe you take over for a bit.
To see our ethereal kin again.
Okay. Oh yeah, technician's report.
We return to Karesh.
Oh, I see. Tell Venari that the shield integrity is in good shape. Luck was on our side this time as the Shadow Guard attack was focused on the control consoles rather than the Echo Dome itself. I will keep surveying everything, enhancing some key locations with arcane energy before moving back to the usual maintain routine.
Patronage is quite appreciated. Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, Firebud pollen? Where is that gathered from? Oh, okay. Those little fellas. I wonder, when did this patch release? Oh, there isn't yet a raid finder, so it must have been fairly recent. Yep, MK in the CPO can easily generate UKI. It's just one option to toggle. Me myself do not want more than 50 megabytes image inside boot, so I prefer kernel itself more than 20 megs. Wouldn't everything get loaded into memory anyway? I would argue that, you know, single 15 megabytes file will load faster than if it were like 220 megs files and the 10 megabyte one. Like the storage basically works faster the larger files or you know, are either larger files on more consecutive reads you are working with.
The systems may be stabilized, but the Shadow Guard continue to raid the Ecodome for its energy.
Like, this is basically stretching, I understand that, but still. Okay, one last more. The one thing I do not understand, or basically I haven't come across really, is compressed swap. This is something I came across when installing ArchLinux from the packstrap or the Arch install, and it completely confused me. Why is that even a thing? Like, who needs this? Like, I would imagine that the only people who need this are running very old, very limited systems. Because generally you do not want swap. If you are hitting swap, you need more RAM basically. So I would understand if this is for some people that really are running some old legacy stuff. with limited hardware, but why is that pushed to mainstream? I have no idea.
Our work has just begun.
Are they alive? Good. Next time they forget to check in, they won't be. Venari skims through the reports. It looks like there was a minimal damage, if any at all, to the most of the facility. The Shadow Guard saboteurs were focused on rerouting our energy reserve to the other conduits. They have ignored the environmental and secondary systems.
Fortune for the world that
Good work. The interior of the dome is stabilized. All of the Ecodome systems are functioning. My investment in the Ecodomes will continue to pay dividends. Unless they attack again.
more valuable than home.
It's called ZRAM. It's a compressed swap device in RAM and acts as a fast swap. I got 16 gigs of RAM and I don't have a swap partition, no ZRAM. What is the point of placing swap in the RAM even? Like, like I said, I guess the compression is one thing because, but memory pages can already be compressed, I think. Like, this is such a confusing piece of technology. Like, who is that? Who is that for? What was the origin? Like, for the people who have like 4 gigs of RAM and are running full desktop experience and do I don't know what. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. We may have driven the saboteurs out of the dome and repaired the systems, but this doesn't mean that the Shadow Guard is done with my domes. They are still hiding at the perimeter, trying to find a way to harvest the vast amounts of expensive energy needed to power. I need you to fight them off, then maybe this attack will truly end.
Our work has just begun.
Oh my, now the quest from my favorite person. We can't have you patrolling the perimeter of this dome like the city watch, fighting attackers in perpetuity. We need a permanent solution so we can continue with our noble quest. Take these crystals. They've been attuned to the Ecodome's defense magics. Just place them near strategic parts of the perimeter to strengthen the magical defenses. What? This time it's no trick. If this dome explodes, I'll never get to destroy Dimensions.
I will do.
Zalatath. Hot take, but Linux Mint is basically Ubuntu patched with no snaps and a Cinnamon desktop. I guess. What do you mean patched? Like, what patches do they possibly add
So this is what has become of Crash.
that Canonical isn't already including?
There remains much to do.
Now we need to process this fireboot pollen into a fuel.
Demencias must not be allowed to return.
I have only seen Linux Mint on like 3 workstations I have at work, and those are basically I want to say almost 10 years old. They have been basically upgraded and, you know, distro upgraded all the time, because back in the day, you know, it may have mattered. Patched as in made a different distro. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Let us exchange words.
Like, I really don't like that we have so many distros. It's so muddled. Like, I've said this many times before, but the more Linux distros we have, the worse it gets for the overall Linux experience. Now that we've processed this fireboot pollen, we can bring some flame to bear against our pests in Ecodome Springhost. Use flamethrower to force the glutted creepers of the dome. Then destroy them. Wow, now this is my kind of quest.
These Shadow Guard dogs will not return.
Where are those glutted creepers? Oh, there. Okay. Let's go. Oh, those. Okay. Okay, so I need to do that just for them to shake them off the wall. Okay, 4 more.
A deal is just another kind of oath.
Like, my hot take would be that Ansible isn't that cool. Salt is. But that's a really niche take. I really need to finally start and do this series where I explain the more less known technologies that are used in the system administration. Even recently I found out that Ansible Tower isn't the main solution for Ansible to provide a, want to say, web UI experience anymore. Or maybe is it, but now it has a strong contender. I don't understand. Your initramfs is initramfs Linux image and kernel is VM Linux. I don't understand why you just can't use the kver. You mean the kernel version, but like the variable, or why is the name static? Like, you don't understand why the names are static and do not include the kernel version? I'm talking VM Linux 6.16.3. And yes, I mean static. Why did Arch devs choose static kernel names? I mean, you like now you have VM Linux dash basically kver, right? Like by default, and it's not necessarily dependent on the Arch devs. Like if you mean the name of the VM Linux dash blah blah blah, that's dependent on the tool you are using. I mean Racket or MKNet CPIO, because for example, if you build, I think they are producing the same name, which actually is Arch dash version, and then it's like a hash of the image, but that's only, oh sorry, that's only in the unified kernel image. I would assume it might something to do with the historical backwards compatibility with the MBR and the you know, the legacy boot. But then again, that's something that Grub is working with, so... The Ecodome shield integrity is returning to normal levels. I knew I could count on your race predilection for Fire Blood Elf. Choose your reward. Both are trash, but this trash is slightly more valuable. Okay, let's see and do the rest of the quests. Okay, completely...
Some time alone to get things done. I adore watching you work.
Oh, I'm blushing. I do back up my kernels to... old kernels. Your life would be so much easier with unified kernel images. Like unified kernel images with system deboot. It's basically a match made in heaven.
I need to target something first. I need a target.
Illyria has been quiet. I think she's still angry at me about Dalaran.
God damn, like... I have to say those... Like, Blizzard basically butchered Sylvanas, but they are kind of earning some of my faith back with Azshara and Xal'atath. Like, they have pretty much butchered Sylvanas and Tyrande. I do enjoy torturing myself with EFI stuff though. By the way, is Gentoo... This is Gentoo I have installed, yeah, that explains a lot.
There aren't many who Illyria trusts, aside from Locust Walker. A foolish exception to a wise rule.
Damn.
Spend your time wisely. Demencius must not...
No, I need to... Now I need to transmogrify everything again. Yeah, all of this literally doesn't matter.
We have worked too long to fail.
But I need to transmogrify right this moment. I will not stand for any other helmet than this beautiful single one. This is something I have been running with for at least 5 years or whenever Warlords of Draenor came out.
First, let's destroy the All-Devoured. Then, we see what becomes of our partnership.
I'm pretty sure Blizzard will go with something like Strong Women Alliance. With Xal'atath, Azshara and who knows who else. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind that. Здравствуйте.
Sharp as a blade, aren't you?
That should secure this dome, but will Venari make us float through any more hoops?
Keep your enemies close.
Good, this will buy us enough time to secure this dome.
I must protect my investment.
I have to check, because I haven't checked this. Specific dungeons. Okay, so there is like some sort of Tazavesh. Okay, Ecodome. Okay. Okay. I cannot relinquish my Reshai ribbon just yet, not while the Shadow Guard assaults my Ecodome from their camp in Serrated Peaks. Take the fight to them. If you decimate their forces, they will stop this assault. Bring Locust Walker apprentice, Allyria. She looks like she knows how to handle herself in a fight. She also keeps stirring daggers at the Harbinger, and I don't have time to play Peacemaker between those two.
Our work has just begun. Destroy the Shadow God camp, and I'll give my Rishi ribbon to the cause.
I'll go with the champion. Meet me at the camp.
My partition layout is this: EFI partition 1 gig, rootfs to 199, and home partition rest of the disk. I hope everything is on LVM though. Like, I would say that unless you 100% know what you're doing, not using LVM can bite you in the ass in the long run, because without LVM you cannot dynamically resize partitions.
With my help, victory.
An ethereal army runs on its energy siphons. Interrupt the flow of energy by destroying their siphon tower, and the army will pull back. Oh my throat is so parched. It's one of their weaknesses as minions. Normally I wouldn't share the secrets of their defeat, but they betrayed me and will forever live with the consequences. The siphon has a control console that can be overloaded to collapse the system. It's like a KVM. It will be shielded by a void barrier. Allyria can remove it for you. I don't have logical volume manager. This means I have to like my partition layout and stick with it. Yeah, well, until it fills up. Like, it also, like, it's important in what order you have them configured, because if you have, like, your home partition before your root partition and you want to, like, increase the size, you can't do that.
We're in this together.
All of the assets on the field of battle. Of all the assets on the field of battle, the troops are the most expendable. I've sent enough to their destruction to know this as a fact. If we were to safeguard this dome for Venari and get her Reshai ribbon, we should destroy their cannons. Those cannons are easily worth the lives of all their soldiers. Destroy them and their commanders will sound the retreat. Most field commanders would never admit that as it's bad for morale, but you seem like the type that can handle uncomfortable truths. My ESP is def, SDA, rootfs, SDA, home partition, SDA free. Okay. What's your file system? Like, since you're not necessarily interested in changing the size or expanding the partitions, this might not be important to you, but for example, there is one fun fact I've learned about ext4. So basically, if you increase the size of your partition and then you resize the ext4 file system to, you know, make use of that extended space, your inode reservation will not be increased. Which means that your file limit within file system is still the same. And that is important in some cases. Probably not if you are just doing this as a desktop experience. But I have come across this in in my professional career. This turned out to be a very, very serious problem. Oh, my rootfs is XFS and my whole partition is ext4. Well, like I said, XFS has dynamic inodes, so it's not necessarily bothered by that problem.
I'm not the one lying to you about what happened to Quebec.
Like, inodes is something you don't necessarily think about unless it starts bothering you. I don't think any other file system other than ext has this problem. PTRFS has dynamically allocated inodes, XFS also has that, I think, so only ext family might have this issue still.
The world breaking apart shattered Dimensius. He wouldn't do that to himself.
By the way, what's your partition layout? I have EFI partition and then the rest is root. I most often don't ever play around with partitioning unless I really have to. And by I really have to, that means I'm making a separate partition for /var in case some logs will blow up and, you know, take the whole make use of the whole file system. Like, I don't really believe in partitioning. I think it's like an old technology and we don't necessarily need it now. Now that I've said it, XFS has quotas, so I wonder if you could just, like, I don't know, give /var a quota instead of making it a partition.
Don't assume victory.
Like, and also partitioning, and if like creating a partition layout without LVM is basically a masochist task in 2025, or even in 2020 or 2015 or whatever.
I don't know who to trust anymore, but we can't lose track of Valitath. Stay with her. Let her think you are her champion. There is much left to
Like, partitioning, especially when done without LVM, can really become cumbersome thing. Like, especially if you are working with that. Like, most of my Linux experiences from work, like, I rarely use it as a desktop unless it's for work. Or for streams, like here. I feel like there is something Locus Walker and Venari are keeping from me.
May your aim never falter.
Like, LVM can cover your ass in so many ways. Like, resizing is just one thing, but file systems, block size parameter, or basically killing your file system with many small files is something that LVM can at least sometimes mitigate to a point, compared to not using LVM at all.
You're in danger.
Like, I still know people that actively avoid LVM because they do not understand it and view it as a thing they have to learn, which is hilarious, to be honest. If I ever upgrade my drive, I'll try out BTRFS with LVM. That is one case where, to be honest, you don't necessarily need LVM. Because BTRFS has subvolumes, it has snapshots, it pretty much has most of the stuff LVM has. Like, if you are operating within BTRFS feature set, you can do pretty much everything LVM can.
Control the Rishi ribbon. Who wanted the Void Lord destroyed?
Damn, Zalatath is like...
What are you saying? I've had enough of your whispers.
It's like dropping hints, like connecting the dots. Without their cannons, the Shadow Guard's attacks on the Ecodome are doomed to failure. I'm more and more unsettled by this plan of ours, though. The secrets, this alliance with Zalatath, I fear Locust Walker made a mistake thousands of years ago.
Find the path to victory.
I need to focus on the mission regardless of my doubts about our companion. The Shadow Guard are a scourge. We should slay their Shadow Captain so they cannot easily return to Ecodome Primus. Venari would lend her Reshai ribbon to our cause, and we would discover if my trust in Locust Walker was well placed.
Know your target.
Like, this dynamic is actually interesting. Like, whether we can actually trust Zalatath. Like, me personally, wholeheartedly. Of course I would trust her. Damn, this mount has this nyoch nyoch sound effect guy. This old laugh sound effect. To be honest, I need to find and finally do something to actually measure and keep track of my gaming sessions, and by that I mean basically keeping tabs on FPS, making sure it's stable, I don't have any dips, what's my CPU usage and stuff like that. To be honest, I think we could start doing some research on it right now even. I wonder if Mongo HUD can cover this. Like, my biggest fear is that I will get banned.
What next?
And I really don't want to get banned. What, with that necessary violence taken care of, the three of us can talk. You are correct, Illyria. Great secrets have been kept from you. Secrets that were not mine to reveal, but should have been revealed to you years ago.
With my help, victory awaits.
Seeing you two on the battlefield was beautiful. It really is wonderful watching you work. If only your so-called friends had trusted you with the truth of their actions so long ago. Locust Walker hasn't tried to deceive you with his actions in the present, though his actions in the past that led us to this point, he has been less than forthcoming about. In all good conscience, I cannot continue hiding the truth from you, Illyria.
Keep your enemies close.
Okay.
The All-Devouring didn't destroy the world. The Ravel destroyed Koresh to kill Dimensius.
No. No, they couldn't have. You are lying.
I'm kinda distracted by this low-res texture. Like, should this look like that normally? Like, there is some particle effect here, but look at this. I mean, unless it's a bug, but we are. Everything is ultra high and stuff. I am an ultra minimalist. Well, then maybe instead of Gentoo you should try Linux from scratch. Like, I've read about that some time ago, but I am not sure if it's really a good idea to give it some time. I'm not 100% sure I wouldn't be wasting time, to be exact. Let's do a delve. That will be a nice breath of change from the main quest. Should I just jump down, or... Oh, okay, yes, I am dumb.
I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Thank you, I am lost myself. You have been found and rescued also. I think I'll finish this delve and be done for today. I think I kind of overestimated my energy. Nice. The Linux kernel compiling gave me dopamine hints. I know what you mean, like, sometimes when I buy a new system at work and I basically run a task that gave me a trouble or basically took a long time, and suddenly it doesn't take a long time, it is certainly a dopamine rush. Like, when I bought the 5070 Ti, I had this video on my channel where I basically was using the Whisper AI model, and it worked on my 1060. But after I tried everything on my 5070, that was like a night and day difference. Like really pleasant stuff. Oh, actually, one other thing where that was the case was when we upgraded our Proxmox cluster with a new hardware, and basically a VM migration from one node to other was basically, I want to say, 2-4 times faster. It's not like it's a long process anyway, but the increased RAM to RAM transfer was noticeable. I think the previous cluster couldn't necessarily utilize the full potential of the 10 gigabit uplink between the nodes. And I kinda wish I could get my hands on more 100 gigabit network interfaces and more 100 gigabit Ethernet switches and even faster fiber channel switches. Like, I wish I could get my hands on those 128 gigabit fiber channel switches and cards. It would be so sweet. Like, fiber channel is one of my favorite technologies when it comes to server and data center stack. Like, it has such a cool things like basically being a lossless transfer. Didn't you say in one video you ditched grub? I did ditch grub in my work laptop. In this mess of a system you see right here, I actually have grub, because I just wanted to have really simple gaming installation that I will turn into a tutorial soon. Like, basically, grub is really outdated, and I want to say useless, especially, like I mentioned, compared with system deboot. This is like a Nexus. Like, system deboot is just so much easier, less complicated, more streamlined, and overall just better. Especially for the UEFI. Like, I kind of... The more I work with Linux, the more I find the... everything can be done via hook or script approach, tiring and messy. It's basically something that can only come to bite you in the ass. It can just come and bite you on, or you can just stumble upon it because you are handed down a system to administer from somebody else, and you do not have that extra knowledge he had and didn't document. Oh, I get it. I was kinda slow, but now I get it. What even is this action button? Okay. That's all? Oh, that's not all. Your kernel right now, it might cap this process to 100% CPU. Like, unless you set the nice parameter. Okay, is this bugged or something? Actually, that's a good question. No, the load isn't necessarily that high. I should have like a separate view or a cam for my HTOP and NVIDIA SMI. So slow. What's your kernel command line? You can pop... Yeah, I know. In a second. It's very basic. Probably only root file system UUID and... That's interesting. C program files, World of Warcraft. Yeah, like I said. VM Linux, root ID, log level and quiet. Like, kernel doesn't necessarily have that many interesting parameters you can configure. Unless you start fiddling around with distribution-specific kernel parameters. That can sometimes be weird and useful and poorly documented. Like, for example, Ubuntu has this cloud image or something like that, kernel parameter, but Debian doesn't have that, even though Debian can also utilize cloud image in a way. Yep, it's exactly that. Sorry, but I need to focus at least for a bit. Yep, exactly. I think I don't know if I mentioned it in my latest video on the YouTube channel, but I have discovered that Unified Kernel Images has baked in command line that doesn't necessarily reflect what's actually in your prot's CMD line. I think you were present on those streams where I basically found that out. Because I tried to basically give that kernel parameter to the system deboot, and it couldn't boot an image if it was supplied with an external kernel command line. Yay! 1, 2, and 3. Like, there are so many poor resources if somebody were to read up on that. Even me myself, it's hard to find some good resources to basically easily read them and learn something like quickly. It's either incomplete or done by an amateurs or very, very boring. How do I exit? Through here. Perfect. Where is my Hearthstone attuned to? I also need to probably finally fix one thing. It's not a big deal, but the stream notifications haven't really been working.
I understand your frustration, Gaora, but do not rush to conclusions.
I might fix that another time. Oh yeah, the vault. Sorry, that's not the vault, that's the... Oh yeah, the vault is in the bank. Sadly, nothing for me this time.
My directive is to serve you. Return and peruse my inventory again.
Much better. More space immediately. That's the default command line that grub provides. Like, do you even need anything more? Like, is there even any point in doing anything? Like, I would say Linux is overall very, very boring unless you are working with it in a cloud environment, or, you know, unless you are in Amazon or Google or whatever. Like, there aren't necessarily many things to configure.
What brings you here? Be careful. Good luck, friend.
Venture, can you hear me? I've discovered a smaller Titan device, which can fit on your belt. I've just completed a delve. Okay. But that won't be happening today. Delve starter kit.
Hey there. See you later.
No, I refuse to do any Mythic Plus. It's cancer.
You'll find me wherever the action is. Keep your eyes on the horizon.
I think you may have guessed. Blah blah blah.
The truth is out there.
Delver's Race. Hmm.
The answers are here. I can feel it. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Loads of forgotten knowledge are within our grasp. Travel safe. Inquiring minds just got to know.
Okay, and one more important quest here, and
We have slept long enough. Farewell.
oh yes, the Valor Stones.
To meet you.
Let's just do whatever. Just so we can, like, burn some of them.
Carefully.
Just so we can waste them.
Find strength. Fair skies and strong winds.
Okay, should we do one last thing? Because I think we are done for today. With the game. I mean, we can still leave it in the background for a bit. Mango Hut not working for certain games. All are installed using Lutris, adding the Mango Hut command to the argument field inside Blizzard Launcher did nothing. I wonder why. No, I did found the Reddit post guide to add Mango Hut to Lutris. Properties, system options, game execution, and set value to 1. Let's try that. I mean, Lutris is very weird and finicky piece of software. At least in my opinion. Properties, system options. How old is that post? Okay, only a year ago. Preferences, system. Global options. Oh. Why I can't enable this? Feral game mode. Text-based games. Grayed out. Why is that grayed out? Okay. And now it won't be grayed out. It still is. So maybe, release year 1996. Environment section. DG Voodoo. Why is this grayed out? Save. Oh yeah, it's not even working like that. God damn. Like, ideally, we should see Mango HUD in the Blizzard app also, right? Tuteish email leaked. Oh no. My fabulous MCC old time troll email leaked. It's a very, very old email. Which, to be honest, was started with trolling in mind. Okay, so no Mango HUD. I just clicked toggle. Oh, thank God. Thank God. So still no FPS counter. How to enable that? What if Let's try all of the possible combinations. That's what I would say when it would be my most important email. I have a sentiment to that email, basically. It was started back in a day when I was still a wee lad and also an anime fan-subber. I think you can still find forum posts made by MCC. Still no FPS counter. But I think that might have to do that we are running this directly and not via Lutris. Oh, something broke? Oh, okay. Permissions, checksums, and application, environmental variables. How to separate that? KDE desktop shortcut and environment variables. Also, it should be like right? Linux desktop entry. I still have my first email from like 2004 or 2005 connected to my old Battle.net account with OG Warcraft 3 with Frozen Throne. What's Mango Hut anyway? Mango Hut is the thing you see on when you are gaming on Linux to show. I think on Windows maybe also. It's basically this. This is Mango Hut. It's used to monitor your game performance. Damn. I didn't know that channel 5 years ago. Jeez. And I'm trying to configure that to be able to monitor my World of Warcraft. Oh shit. You know, sessions and maybe save them and basically plot a graph from that. You know, I think this might be only understood by you, but I did have to recover some access to some web service that was still registered under my neostrada.pl email account. And the Neostrada email accounts have been closed since like 2022 or 23. Oh, okay. Is it as simple as that? Okay, let's see whether it will work. I think it doesn't work. No, I'm pretty sure it's not working. Well, sadly, this wasn't easy. As easy as I wished it would be. Okay. Anyway, as promised, that's it for today. I'm not sure I'll be streaming tomorrow, maybe tomorrow also, but that's not a guarantee. Probably Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. I will try to give you more heads up this time. Maybe on my Discord, that you can join. It's probably linked somewhere down below. Or maybe on some my other socials. So if you want to catch the next stream or maybe suggest what game to play on or what do you want to see me try out or maybe debug, then you either just go to my Discord. I mean, you probably should just go to my Discord and tell me that directly. But yeah, I think that's all for today. I will probably debug the Mango HUD because that should be more crucial, to be honest. Maybe I'll do that on the next stream. Maybe. We'll see. So many things to do, so little time, to be honest. But yeah, thanks for today. Loved the chat, loved your presence here. And I'll see you next time.